Hi DJ, it's very glad to have you here with us today at New York Stock Exchange. And we know actually tomorrow there's going to be a Uber IPO here, a huge unicorn. And I know your company has some research about Uber, so let's talk about it. So firstly, could you please tell us a little bit background about your company and yourself?
Of course. So Value Champion is a financial research company for an average person. So high net worth individuals have a lot of resources like financial advisors, hedge funds that can help them manage their money smartly. But the average Joe does not. Right? So we want to be that resource for an everyday person. A normal person doesn't just have problem with investing, right? They have problems finding credit cards to use, what kind of insurance to get. And also, sometimes they get hooked onto these really, really hot IPOs and lose money, like we saw with Lyft, right? So we do a lot of research on all these kind of different financial areas and publish for free and give it to consumers so that they can make better decisions with their money.
And we found your company, Value Champion, has a very interesting research shows滴滴出行and some other competitors successfully encroaching on Uber's territory. So probably there's going to be a risk for Uber's IPO and its investors. Can you expand on that?
Yes. So I think the story around Uber has been largely about Uber dominating all of the world outside of China, Russia, India, and Southeast Asia, where they have made either made deals with the local competitor to sell their business, or is still competing with Ola in India, right? So everywhere else, Uber is the winner, and over time they should be able to somehow make money with scale or self-driving cars. But I think there is a risk to that story because I don't think investors are expecting to have companies like Didi, who's from China, to actually expand and succeed in countries like Mexico. If you look at their download rankings in the Apple App Store, Didi actually outranked Uber as the top travel app in Mexico from November to middle of January that we were tracking. Right now it's second to Uber, but still very, very close race, right? And even Russia's Yandex Taxi, right? Uber exited the market by creating a JV with Yandex Taxi, but Yandex Taxi actually created an app, Yango, to enter into Israel, competing very, very well in the market, even better than Uber. Ola, Indian competitor, launched in Australia, New Zealand, and UK. The download rankings are just going up and up and up and up. So what else is there, right? There's Grab that hasn't really expanded into Uber's territory yet. But even then, we just noticed in April, Grab outranked Uber as the top ride-hailing app in Hong Kong. So clearly there's a brand awareness, very strong brand awareness for Grab in Hong Kong. If they expand into Hong Kong, will they succeed? I think there's a pretty good chance. So I think all these kind of developments are actually, I think they're creating this trend towards maybe we're going to see very, very heavy competition in ride-hailing industry once again, like we saw when they first launched until a few years ago.
And it seems Lyft had a very disappointing debut. So what do you think of tomorrow's Uber IPO?
So I'm not going to pretend to know what's going to happen in the future, but I think what's very clear is because it's very hard to value either Lyft or Uber, people are going to compare the two. And Uber is roughly 5 to 6 times bigger than Lyft in terms of transaction volume. And we've seen Uber's valuation sort of remain at that kind of ratio compared to Lyft's valuation. Lyft's IPO and stock came down a lot. Uber's valuation came down, and as you saw this week, as Lyft had this disappointing quarter, stock came down 10%. Seems like Uber is also pricing it towards the low end valuation. So I think they will sort of maintain that range, but they're both very, 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 very expensive companies. A lot of hope. No one really knows exactly how they'll be profitable. And there's this additional risk that I think people are overlooking from competition from players that they probably didn't think about before.